hidden within uncharted forests, to mountains blanketed in thick clouds, the Beastmen of Chaos hide, readying themselves to invade the mortals, driven by the primal need to fight and ultimately conquer. The Beastmen, mortals who resemble a cross between animal and man, from goat legs, maned heads to talon-like hands. These creatures are perhaps best described as the physical manifestation that is the anarchy of the wild. There is no law, no order within the animalistic minds of the Beastmen. By nature's way, anarchy and chaos are what drives the creatures of the forest. Whilst the gloomspite gits might represent the fungal horror that is of nature, or the Slaveneth representing her vengeance, the Beastmen of Chaos could be branded as the chaotic ways of all beasts. The existence of the Beastmen are as old as the suns across the realms. Carved within a cave, an adventurer might find depictions of man with goat-like features, along with texts warning about forces none should venture far in. Indeed, stories such as these have been around long before Sigmar voyaged across the mortal realms. There is no mono-origin to the creation of the Beastmen. Many mortal tribes have contradicting stories, with no clue to how these creatures came to be. There are few stories, though, that is somewhat consistent from culture to culture. Some say that a mighty beast, a creature unlike any other, had stalked the wild land of Gur without challenge. Contaminated by the energies of chaos, the creature will eventually give birth to the later Beastmen who follow their mother's chaotic footsteps. Others say that the powers of chaos contaminate many lands within the mortal realms, corrupting great tribes into having animalistic features, along with minds maddened with rage and a primal need to destroy. In the Age of Myth, when Sigmar traveled across the mortal realms, bringing civilization to the mortal races, he would come across stories from many primitive cultures about the horrors that lurk within the wild lands. Fables that tell the tale of animal-like men who slaughter towns and villages if disturbed. As far as they were concerned, so long as they don't disturb the animal men within the uncharted lands, they would in turn leave their towns alone. Sigmar would help push back the Beastmen, riding them out from territory never explored before alongside the mortal races. With the God King's aid, kingdoms and empires would be constructed within these lands, and order would finally come to the realms. In gratitude for the god's aid, these kingdoms would swear royalty to Sigmar, thankful for finally bringing peace and prosperity to the lawless realms. The Beastmen would hate Sigmar because of this. To the Beastmen, true freedom is not determined by made-up laws, but by one's primal instinct. Those born within the right family don't deserve leadership, for most of them are fat and may have never experienced a fight, whereas the Beastmen follow the strong and cunning. The Beastmen would look with disgust as their former lands transformed into cities of marble and metal. Their stomachs turned as they witnessed the fat and stupid rule over kingdoms that they have no legitimate reason to lead. It would not be long till the dark powers grew attracted to the hatred that the Beastmen held towards their enemy. When the Chaos Gods turned their ire to the realms, they would use the Beastmen as tools of war, pawns for their great armies, mostly to distract or cripple the enemy for their legion of demons and warbands. But unlike cultists or demons, ones who serve the Chaos Gods in return for power, to even immortality, the Beastmen see the dark powers as irrelevant. Though a cultist may be gifted for his servitude, a demon the power to bring down all those before him, they are but slaves to the gods. They tossed away their freedom in turn for material gain, but never able to conquer or advance for themselves, but for the gods they have shackled to serve for eternity. The Beastmen, however, see worth by one's own strength. one that can take what he wants with little resistance. Those beastmen who gave themselves to the dark gods are weaklings to the rest of the tribal horde, for they needed aid to bring themselves above their peers. Despite the contempt that the beastmen have towards those who serve the dark gods, there are breeds of them who serve the dark powers from birth. These creatures have been bred to serve an individual god, and their appearance might reflect this. The blue-skinned Zangars, who have been bred for Zinch, are gifted with sorceress powers. The corn-breaded have skins bright as freshly spilled blood, with enormous horns and wielding weaponry that reflect no light. Even if the beastmen show little regard to the dark gods, there are indeed benefits for their neutral alliance. By working with these gods, the beastmen are guaranteed a good fight against the mortal races. Alongside their demons and champions, the beastmen tear down great castles and cities, along with bringing back their territory to the wild, chaotic ways of old. Now, as they march across kingdoms in great stampedes, tearing down Sigmar statues and slaughtering his people, a mighty, metal-clad beastman might raise up his bloody axe to the crimson sky and announce his terrible war cry, saying,
"Let the mortal realms burn."